Howdy ho. Hey, Asaka. Hey, Witchy. How are you girls doing today? Hope you're doing good. So, a few things have come to my attention this evening. And a few hours ago, I get a message in my inbox, and I'm like scratching my head, like, where the hell did this come from? So, apparently, someone's behind the scenes telling people that I told Jess K not to be friends with certain people. That's not true. I have it I have it narrowed down to two people. Two people that would pull something like this. And let me just give some advice on how to handle the situation. If someone makes an accusation, ask for proof. It's simple as that. Then I get accused of sending information from private chats to Darling Nikki. I never did that. I don't know where that came from either. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting concept. Unless, of course, I wouldn't. Would you, Nicole? Of course, I wouldn't do that. But unfortunately, some people behind the scenes are gullible, overreacts. Damn, retrograde. So let's talk about a few things that happened last night after I got off my live. So apparently, a bunch of people thought I would get nice and upset about people talking in Just K's chat last night. Well, I seen some of the comments. I took screenshots, but I wasn't really watching last night. I tuned in for a few minutes, and I hopped in the shower. So I was told to go with some timestamp, and I watched for 15 minutes, and I'm like, really? So I was accused of getting everything wrong. I get what is it, 98% things wrong around here. And it's like, really? No, I told the total 100% the truth yesterday when I said that Amber never, ever, at least in my presence or anyone else's, went after someone's kid. So yesterday I was reviewing the accusations made by Katie, of course. So she put my name in her mouth. She put Nikki's name, Yaxley's. Now she's accusing Amber without any proof of talking about her kid. Amber doesn't do that. All right. And if anyone has proof of Amber actually saying something like that, please send it to me. My email's in my description. I love to see it. But as of now, I don't believe Katie. All right, she's behind the scenes causing some mayhem. And did I accuse? Hey, Barbara. So did I accuse scabies last night of being in on the Katie thing? No, I have no proof of that. So why would I talk about it? Why would I talk about that? I did a live. I covered Katie, covered scabies, and sometimes I get like Darling Nikki, where I have all my screenshots messed up. And I just gave up yesterday, and I said, okay, let's just kick two birds with one stone. I put up my poll, explain that. And then I hear on Jess K's live last night that email that she sent me cleared scabies. Really? No, that didn't clear scabies at all. What that showed was that Katie was messaging people asking them why they don't like her. That's what the email said. And I could tell from the headers it's Jess with the K and Katie. So that's what it showed. It didn't clear anyone of wrongdoing. I was like dumbfounded last night when I heard that. So why don't I'm not going to mention names, but if you have something to say, make sure you tell it right, because I haven't talked to Jess K privately since November 13th. So apparently someone is spoon feeding bullshit yet again. All right. So I got accused of sending screenshots about a certain somebody to Nikki. Not true yet again. Not true. So I don't know where this person got the information and ran with it, but stop with the lies. All right? Stop with the lies. Stop with the finger pointing, because I'm getting pretty sick of it. I'm getting sick of it. Now we had Katie pointing her finger saying, I'm the true, I'm Krama. Nikki's Krama, Yaxley's Krama. Because they're just making wild guesses, because nobody knows who it is. As I showed last night, it's someone from the United Kingdom. That's all I could tell by the way they write. It was a slang term used for a cigarette, which is actually a homophobic slur in the States or in North America, for a cigarette. I showed the screenshot of that last night, and I'm like, okay. So I'm going to deal with what Darling Nikki said last night on her live. And set the record straight about my community post where I said, yeah, I suggested to Nikki that she request refunds from PayPal. Now, who said that first? Who said that first and said he was going to get refunds? That was Robbie. I only agreed with him. And I sent a message to Nikki saying I 100% agree with Robbie on this. Perhaps you should request more refunds. That's it. That's all I said. So I made a community post admitting, yeah. But it turned out, if people remember correctly, Robbie said it first. Nikki was on panel with Robbie, and Robbie convinced Nikki to do it. I just made a suggestion privately. I'm just going to say someone who's ungrateful for donations and says, oh, I need drama for to make a quick buck, not caring about the people they hurt in the process. Just about making cash on here. Screw morals, screw integrity. And someone actually had a meltdown live. Damn. So I'm hearing that Scabies said that she took away Katie's wrench and cussed her out. I didn't see that. I haven't been going over there. So if anyone wants to think that I interfere with people's friendships on here, that's total baloney. I don't tell Robbie who to be friends with. I don't tell Nikki who to be friends with. I don't tell anyone else who to be friends with. However, some people do show their true colors, if not publicly, behind the scenes. Hey, catch me. They show their true colors. Some people in this community need to figure it out for themselves. And I totally understand that. But coming from someone who hasn't been around for 2 years, I've been around for a long while now. Would you think that I know a little more about the goings on in this community than she does? Now, if she wants to be friends with Scabies, go right ahead. All right. I'm not going to sit there and. But just remember, I warned you. If you don't want to take my advice, then that's on you. All right. So I'm just going to be a few more minutes because I have a few things to do tonight before people start going live. Now, I'm just going to say this publicly. I don't talk to certain people too much behind the scenes because guess how that turns out? Look how that turns out sometimes. But if someone's going to sit there and talk crap about someone that she says she's someone she's friends with. That opened my eyes pretty wide. All right. So if you can sit there and talk mad shit about someone you call your friend, wouldn't that show you, wait a minute, this person isn't as loyal or isn't as virtuous as they seem? Now, some people have get mad at someone and they vent to a friend. This was no venting to a friend. Robbie actually showed some proof on his live. And yeah, they're looking for a scapegoat yet again. You're absolutely right, Rachel. I'm going to agree with you on that because if nobody wants to listen, that's on them. Some people have to learn the hard way, and you're absolutely right on this. So I could, from my experience on this platform, you could show people evidence till hell freezes over, but they won't believe it. They'll be in denial. Yeah, I was in denial. I'll admit it firsthand. I was in what was I just going to say? My mind went blank, but yeah, if you want to sit there and you want to talk shit about someone you call your friend, then I don't really care what happens to you, all right? I don't care. So Rachel's right. They're going to have to learn the hard way. And Catch Me is right. They're looking for a scapegoat. And I'm not going to be your scapegoat. All right? No way, Jose. So if you accuse me of something, I'd like to see receipts. Okay? Try that for once. Because anyone can make up a story. Anyone can get mad at someone and say, oh, did you know what Bill did? Or what Bill said? Or now just Kay wants to be friends with scabies. That's fine. But I do believe that scabies is messaging her, putting her up to some shit. I don't know. All right. I'm not privy to what people say to each other in their DMs. How am I supposed to know that somebody? How am I supposed to know their conversation? And I was in denial because one time I was friends with Amy. I didn't want to believe that Amy was this big piece of shit going behind our backs and looking at people's kids and making fake obituaries. We're talking about a bunch of people, S. Hockett, all right? Okay, let's see. And I didn't want to put anything out either, but I had to because she was talking a heap of shit behind all your backs, and it wasn't right. You kept asking for proof, and I sent it to you. Yes, I did, Rachel. Because I'm going to say this again for the people in the back who don't seem to understand. People don't change that much. Now, people can grow and become better people, but some people on this platform need to be on medication. And yes, Katie, I'm talking about you with the medication thing. Because all you do is you get angry and you go after people that are friends with this one and friends with that one and friends with this one. You came to this community and you were going to go warn us about a three-hole wonder. But we already knew about the three-hole wonder of this community because she showed her true colors pretty quick. Didn't she? And not everyone was convinced that Methany was genuine, and she's not. But for Katie to come over into this sector of the community and talk about people she can't stand from a community we know nothing about, she calls it her old community. But then you have Yaxley constantly debunking her shit with actual receipts. So she gets angry at people that are friends with this one and friends with that one. Come on, Katie. Come on. We're kind of smarter than that. You can see right through you. I started to see something when you went to Darling Nikki's chat and you were stomping your feet, wanting to get your way. You wanted to link one night. I was gracious to have you up on my panel to tell your side of the story. But that wasn't good enough for you, was it? Wasn't good enough. You had to sit there and you had to have your temper tantrums. And yeah, Darling Nikki got rid of you. And I noticed that when she was in Nikki's chat, I just didn't say a word because guess what? She's a snake. How many years has Katie been with Tiff and they had their little fallout? So Katie's not innocent either. Nobody's innocent around here. Nobody. Rachel's not innocent. I'm not innocent. Nobody really is innocent around here. Are they? Nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. So if Jess wants to message me and talk to me about this, my message box is open. All right. But have a backbone, Jess. All right. Ask for proof. Hey, Danny. Ask for proof, and if they don't provide it, they're either lying or something's not adding up. They took something another way, a way that it wasn't intended to be presented. And right now is Mercury retrograde. And let me explain what that is. Is when communication breaks down. You say one thing and people take it another. Hey, Roosting. Someone takes it one way, another. They misunderstand a lot of things. But I was talking about two people last night, and I didn't want to go through the screenshots 50 times. So I alternated between two people because I had something to say. Now, are opinions facts? No, everyone has one. But just because I have a dissenting opinion from some people doesn't mean I'm lying. I'm friggin' sick of being called a liar on here. Well, that comes from a bunch of nobodies that all they do is project and lie themselves. So if Katie wants to act like she's what she is doing right now, keep it up, Katie. All right. Thank you, Jess. You can use Messenger. I'm not, I didn't block you. All right. And last night, I sent you that screenshot. And you failed to get the point of it. Now, I sent that to you to show you what she does. You could believe it, or you can't, or not. I was just giving you a sample of some of the things that she was talking behind people's backs. Do you want to be friends with her? Fine. I'm not going to sit there and interfere. Contrary to popular belief, yeah, I say it how I see it. I give my opinion on here. I break down the drama, tell you exactly what I think. Nobody on this platform gets everything 100% correct. I do my best to vet out some of the crap on here. And when someone's been missing for 2 years, I think some of the OGs around here would know more. And I'll admit again, I don't know everything. I'm not going to sit there and, because I can't be everywhere. All right. That's why I asked for receipts. One person says this thing, another person says that. Now, who's telling the truth? All right. I was just telling you, Jess, be careful. And that's all I'm going to say about it. All right. You could be friends with whoever you like on here. But it seemed to me that you're kissing her butt. Some other people commented on that in private and on public comments. All right. Yeah, she absolutely does, Roosting, and I've heard about this for months now. Katie stirring up shit. Jessica showed the proof last night that she was crying and whining about Jessica not liking her. Now, nobody has to like anybody on here. All right? Nobody. I think it's quite pathetic when you have to send someone an email asking, why don't you like me? Now, I don't give a shit what people think because I have lots of people here that do care about me. They think I'm funny. They think a lot of people get a good laugh. Don't take some things too seriously. I got accused of some things, and they're only jokes. All right? Maybe a few corny jokes, but It is what it is. Some of the jokes were passive aggressive in nature, making fun of some of the things they've been saying. So I made a big joke out of it because some of the things that happen around here are big jokes. Some people are total jokes. Now, anyone who sits there and points the finger at a nameless channel, oh, I think I know who this person is. I think I know who that person is. Really? Do you? Do you really know for sure who some of these channels are? Do you? It could be someone from 2019 that was a silent watcher until now. Didn't anyone think of that? Before I created this channel, I was a little silent. I was a little silent because I had to catch up to what was going on around here. I was gone since late 2019. I actually came around here every so often for a joke, good laugh. Please, Rachel, don't say things like that. We don't go at people in here. All right. Well, yeah, a lot of people didn't have anything to do with Katie, all right? I could sort of see what she was doing. But I sometimes sit there and watch silently and listen and try to use some common sense. Now, does everyone agree with me? 100% of the time, no. And that's all right because sometimes we just walk away from a debate agreeing to disagree, and that's absolutely fine. Okay? That's absolutely fine. Yeah, it can be, Danny. It can be a little confusing on here sometimes because it took me maybe 3 months, 4 months to catch up, figure out what was going on around this community. All right. And I was like thinking, well, I'm watching these channels. I'm watching Robbie. I'm watching this person and that person. And I have my own take on things. All right. I'll tell you exactly what I think. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah, nobody is right 100%, Rachel. You're absolutely right. Nobody. But over at the swamp, that's all they could say is, I get everything wrong. You never get anything right. Really? Now, if anyone wants, they could message Amber on how many times I've been right. And we walked away from this conversation agreeing to disagree. I saw right through Jer and her bullshit, her fakeness. Saw right through that crap. Saw right through a few other people that Jer hangs out with. But guess what? Amber was friends with a few of those people. She had to learn the hard way. Okay, that's a good question, Rachel. I started here during the Watts Island days. Things were getting a little heated. There was this girl named Mary Marlowe, which I was laughing my butt off at because she kept claiming, oh, I got hacked. She was pretty funny sometimes. You know, she made an ass out of herself with paranoid delusions. I know who Laura is back in 2019. But things changed. So it had to be around, what was it? 2022 that I started listening again. Because guess what? We all know what happened. Amy messaged me a few weeks before Jess started her series. It says, "Oh, I heard Jess is gonna have a new series about me," and I just said, "Really?" And then she couldn't stop but help, saying, "Oh, she told me Norman died," and then she called me up and was laughing all about it, saying I couldn't stand Norman. Really, Amy? That's all she could do is laugh that someone died? Now, when CJ died, I wasn't laughing. All right? But sometimes when someone dies, you can't really think about anything positive about them. And that's what the purpose of my live was. It was, what legacy would you leave behind? How do you want to be remembered on here? It was to start a discussion. All right. It was how do people actually feel about this? Because everyone has different feelings about everything that happens around here. All right. I had sympathy for her family. I'm human. But we actually had questions. Was CJ really dead? No, I was even questioning it because of some of the things that she pulled in the past. And it finally got reported to the civil registry's office a week. I forget which date it was. It was earlier this month. So that settled it. She actually died. Sad. All right. Yeah, Wendy, but sometimes you gotta really think. You have mixed feelings on things. And then someone couldn't handle it and decided to come in and show everyone something that shouldn't be aired on YouTube. And then gets mad that no one wants them in their chats. Yeah, I try, Wendy. I try. I really try to look at something. Yeah, they can't defend themselves anymore. Danny, you're absolutely right. But if you're going to be on YouTube and it's sometimes good to ask healthy questions. All right. It's sometimes healthy to ask questions. Is this did this happen this way or did it happen another? So this message is for whoever the shoe fits. Keep your shit up. If you make a community post, be proud of it. All right. Own up to what you say or do. Because there's always someone screenshotting things and clipping things. So why bother even lying around here? It's useless. It's useless to sit here and lie and lie and lie when there's always someone at the other end of the screen who may be anonymous clipping everything. So it's very, very hard around here to sit there and say, oh, I didn't say this. I didn't say that. I didn't do it. When someone has you on video from a live stream that you took down or a video or a community post, it shows that you actually did say that. You actually did do that. Long history on here. And I think that's the reason why so many people got riled up about this Crown of True History channel. All right. I was actually thinking about this afternoon. And it's because they're lying and they're getting busted in their lies. That's why it causes such a stir. Nobody knows who this is. Except it's from someone from the UK or someone that's from the UK. Because I put it through ChatGPT, who uses the F word for a cigarette. Because I know it's the Commonwealth countries have used different words for everything. Australia actually has their own slang sometimes. Sometimes it's the UK, sometimes it's you know what I mean. So it says the Australians stopped using the F word for a cigarette because it was offensive to people in North America. It's a homophobic slur. So Australians, for the most part, stopped using it. Now, this term stuck in the UK for some reason. What do I know? All right, why? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Danny. And some of these channels could be handed off to other people. So are we gonna ever learn who this Crown of True History channel is? Yeah. Especially if this person told somebody that they're doing this channel and they get into an argument and someone takes screenshots of a private conversation and we actually learn who it is. Yeah, Duries or something like that, Rachel. Don't you have dart as a word for cigarette too in Australia? Dart, Duries. That showed up in ChatGPT too. Hey, license. That shows up in ChatGPT. So if you don't know something, you can ask the AI now. Now, the AI is not 100% accurate either. What the AI does, or the ChatGPT, is they scour the internet for information. And if I don't know something, I actually do some research on it, because sometimes things get confusing and people have the nerve to call me. They call me stupid. Really? I'm stupid because I asked for proof that someone did this or said that. Yeah, everyone does, Rachel. Every because don't you say something about the bush or something that's Australian in nature? Because back in 1788, when Australia was founded as a penal colony, and they housed everyone at Port Arthur, by the way, the English language started to change slightly. You had Aboriginal people who added words, translated into English, into their vocabulary. Same thing with the United States. We declared independence from Britain, and our culture, our language started to change slightly. Yeah, me too, Rachel. I don't buy it. All right, they accuse me, they accuse this person, that person. They're just throwing shit on the wall to see what sticks. They want to see what your reaction is. That's all it is. That's all it is. Yeah, penal colony. As in prison colony. That's what Australia was back in the day. And then they used to get what happened in the UK was they had a sentence called 7 years transportation. So what that means in a British record was they were deported to Australia to serve a jail sentence, and they didn't come back. It was like exile. So after a while in Australia started getting immigrants from all these different countries, and that's how that worked, you know? And the language started. Okay, Graham, you got a good point there. I haven't thought of it that way. But there could be more than one person behind the keyboard on that channel. Yeah, you do have a point there. Anyone can switch up the lingo by looking it up. All right, anyone can do that. But eventually, when they try that, Tim, they screw up somewhere. All right. Because you sit there and you point the finger at this person and that person, you're really making yourself look like an idiot. Now, have I actually accused people of being the Crime True History channel? No, because I probably do not know who it is. Yeah, I had a theory on who it was. I had a few, but then I had to reevaluate who I thought it was, because guess what? They screwed up again and said this and that. So it's like you got to use logic when you evaluate. Yeah, there could be more than one person behind it. I'm sure of it. But to sit there and you point the finger at this person, that person, no proof, just throwing shit against the wall, see what sticks. It's a very outdated way to undo things. I'm just going to say that right here, right now. Because, yeah, we all have theories on who it is. But are we right? When I first came to this community back in 2022, I started with little messages made by a video maker, because I was actually practicing on how to make a video. I had no clue how to do it. I'm just a whiz at the internet sometimes, but I had to learn how to make videos. So I gave I think it was Adobe or something like that, video maker. You could do it. You could do your videos online. And guess what? You had people trying to guess who I was, and none of them got it right. So they didn't realize that I was a silent watcher for a few months before I even showed my head over here. Yeah, this is another issue, Rachel. This is another issue. Okay. And Darling Nikki had the same issue when it came to Trauma True History Channel. It started to write like Sarah. It started to write like Nikki. It started to write like this person, use their terms. But as let me put up this comment again. This. If anyone will know Commonwealth English, they spell color differently. They spell behavior differently, slightly different. You got to really look for that too, because as Grim Tim just said, anyone can use words. Now, I learned a few terms from watching parody videos from Australia. I think they're these girls are pretty funny. They make honest government ads, and some of them are very funny because they're pretending to be the Australian or American government, and they make parody out of telling the truth. They do the research, and yeah, it's sometimes someone that you never expect. All right, it's someone you never expect. Always. Now, the only obvious trolls that use 100 different channels just to post something. There's just a few of them that we can guess who it is because it's the way they talk or they use certain terms that are yeah, you spell things differently than the states and few American territories. So it's my conclusion that it could be anybody. So can we all stop pointing the finger because you don't know how to tell the truth and you're getting busted? You're getting fucking busted. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I didn't go real life. But then when someone comes up with a clip channel and says with a clip that you did do that, you did say that, it's like, oops. Then they get upset because they can't lie to anyone anymore. And I always said this. I've always said this. All right. It's just better to tell the truth on here. Be honest. Be you. Because it's going to come and bite you in the ass eventually. It's going to bite you in the ass when your lies and delusions go full blast on here. It makes you look stupid, actually. Yeah, it's also divergent what happened in the UK back in the 1500s. Some words that we know today had a completely different meaning. It just grew. All right. Out of cultural differences. And so if you actually look up the N word, what does it mean? It means ignorant person. But back in the 1500s, before the slave trade started, they used that word as an insult to the lower classes, saying they're ignorant and uneducated. So what happened? The slave trade happened. Southern started using the N word as a slur towards blacks, and it has its reputation now. It wasn't originally a racial slur. It was originally an insult. So this is how some of these words grow with time. Yeah, Rachel. Why bother even lying? Now, if I'm wrong, I'll own it. I'll say, okay, I got something wrong, or my theory was wrong. Now, if I don't give fake apologies. I'm not just gonna apologize to someone because it's what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Socially acceptable. Just to go along with the crowd. Now, if I give an apology, I actually mean it. All right. So if I actually apologize to someone, I mean it. I'm not going to sit there and say I'm sorry for something I'm not sorry for. Because a lot of people on here, they put on this personality for YouTube. Oh, I'm big and mean. I'm big and mean and nasty, but in real life, they're pussies. Now look at Amy. She acts nice and tough on panel with Granny Fanny. But when she actually went to Robbie's wedding, she was the biggest pussy on the planet. She couldn't give eye contact to anyone. Yeah. Figures, you know? Figures. I'm just sick of people lying. So when Grandma True History Channel came around, it was a breath of fresh air. Now it's pointing the finger. Who is it? They're trying to figure it out. They'll probably not figure it out for a long time. So if you want to go with that shit, make yourself look stupid, all right? Now, I have a few theories on who it is, but I'm not going to say anything because I have no proof of it. I'm not going to sit there and make an accusation that I can't even, I have zero to back it up with. All right? I have zero. Okay, Rachel, that's fine. The mask always falls off eventually. Yeah. The mask always falls. You could pretend to be a phony for how long? But eventually you people start to see that you're delusional, nuts, a damn liar. Now, I like to sometimes tease people and joke around on here. Am I a little more what word I'm kind of looking for? I sometimes exaggerate my some things about my personality for entertainment purposes. But there's nothing dishonest about it. You know, as someone said, this is an entertainment platform. Wouldn't it be boring if there was no laughter? Yeah, I got accused of being that Truthy Magoo, and I says, who the hell is that? I wasn't around back then. I have no clue who Truthy Magoo is. All I know is that he either faked his death or did something. I'm not going to even speculate because I wasn't around and I haven't seen too many clips to even form an educated opinion on. But I'm just going to say this before I go. All right. You can put on an act. You can go behind the scenes and start throwing rocks. But eventually, people are going to see you for who you are. People are going to see you for who you are. We just have to be a little patient here. Okay? We have to be a little patient. Yeah. Wouldn't life be boring if everyone was so serious all the time? Yeah, I have a good sense of humor, but sometimes I go with teasing a little hard. Yeah, because that's for entertainment purposes. I'm a little jokester, and I like to make sarcastic comments. Some of them trigger the other side. Oh, you reminded me, Danny. You just reminded me of something else. All right. So, is anyone aware of the lawsuit with Cucky? I'm laughing my butt off at his idiocy. Does this guy actually think he's going to win a case when he can't even? What's the legal term? Unable to state a claim. So when someone abuses the legal system like he is, just to harass somebody, the fake life coach roosting. Sometimes I restream him. Yeah, he doesn't know how to tell the truth either. He's delusional, stupid. And then he has a chat with full of trolls. He has no support whatsoever. And then he says, "Oh, my I wouldn't be a failure if it wasn't for this person and that person and that person." Well, cocky boy. Yeah, the guy with the fuzzy mic. Yep. You remember now, roosting. The guy with the fuzzy mic. Now, I didn't think that guy could get any dumber than he already is, but damn, cocky boy. Get it together. Why don't you just sit there and drop your little suit and call it a day? Because nobody owes you a damn thing. You're a failure because guess what? You haven't done anything to grow, except perhaps for buying subs. And you can all guess who that is. Who actually, there's two people who actually wasted their money on buying a cuck from California subs. Now his numbers on his channel don't even come close to 6,000. He allegedly has 6,000 subs, and yeah, you're absolutely right, Mustang Sally. Eli will be a failure the rest of his life. He will never be anything, and I agree with you 100%. It's just, here's the thing. This is how I'm viewing the whole lawsuit thing. It's quite funny in a way with all these pathetic motions with delusions in them. He absolutely has no proof that means anything. Absolutely nothing. But he sits there and has to please his girlfriend, an alcoholic who he feeds alcohol too, and then doctor. Now he has a medical degree for looking up things on Google. He has a medical degree now. He has a law degree. What else does he claim to have? Knowledge. And anyone that knows what Reddit is, it's just basically a chat with opinions, just like YouTube. Just like YouTube. And people talk about all sorts of things on Reddit. I don't even use that as a legitimate source for information on anything. Because Reddit is not vetted for truthfulness. You got to take Reddit with a grain of salt. There's lots of rumors on there that people like to spread about celebrities and this person and that person. And then you got an idiot who sits there and takes this stuff seriously. So in a way, what Cucky Boy is doing is, on one end, it's funny. The frivolous motions he's filing and say, oh, I gotta have this judge. This one judge who I look up is a liberal. But guess what? It got assigned with a magistrate instead, because probably this judge wants nothing to do with it. Or the judge actually has a full schedule of legitimate cases. Yeah. The only thing Reddit Discord is good for is news updates, a social chat. I'm thinking of rebooting my Discord and just having people in there that want to talk and be social. Not talk about anything YouTube related or yeah, I'm thinking about trying that. All right. I'm thinking about trying that. But Discord can be abused. All right. Just like anything else, prescription drugs in this country can be abused and around the world. So it's only what you make of. Yeah. Yeah, Discord could be the devil sometimes, but some people can't see the good in it. Yeah, it's good for a social group or news group. But if you want anything to remain private on Discord, good luck. Yeah, Mustang Sally. I can understand that. I'm only in 2 servers. One's about Cuck Eli, and the other's somewhat of a social news group. I like the people in there, so yeah, same peeps, different handles. They go from one platform to another, and it's just yeah. So what Cuck Eli is doing, in my opinion, is not funny. On the other hand, when he has to sit there and abuse the legal system just to make a point. Yeah, someone turns into Eli is streaming, and then he gets boring 1 minute, and then he gets triggered the next over nothing. Yeah, nothing's private in Discord, Rachel. Nothing. Their security sucks. Anyone can join a server unapproved. Nothing is private in Discord. Nothing. So I use this as a general rule. All right. Don't say anything that you don't mind coming out. All right. Yeah, that's sometimes the right way to go, Mustang Sally. But sometimes I need to get away from things in my real life. And YouTube is kind of a social platform for me. It's my social hour. So it's kind of my social hour plus. Hey Tam. Yeah, it's kind of my social hour too. So I view it as do unto others as you want done unto you, because karma can be a bitch. It sure can. And I'm sure karma's going to hit that stupid little cock where it hurts. So that's what you do when that's what happens when you can't make money on your own. You're not entertaining, you're not funny. You have nothing of value except screaming on a trail the same person's name or the same few people's names. It's like, damn. Once a failure, always a failure, cuck. Oh, yeah, of course, Mustang Sally. I don't blame you. I don't trust on people on here because guess what? Someone will turn on someone with a blink of an eye. Yeah, 100% divergent. If you want privacy, get the hell off the internet and socialize in normal ways. But with this technology these days, nobody wants to go out and really socialize. So I've been on for longer than I was going to come on tonight. Every time I come on, I just can't keep my mouth shut. I just keep going and going and going. So please hit the thumbs up on the way out, and hey, don't mind to give a donation. All right, I appreciate donations. Not like some people that use people as ATM machines. So I'll see everyone later. All right. Thanks for coming, and we'll see everyone next time.